No.
You really can't do that. You're dealing with adults who have businesses or family members or whatever. You certainly can put in your syllabus that you do not allow testing during class or during tests, and you can tell them to turn it off when you see it, or be savvy, question them. But as adults, if they're waiting for a we've got students waiting for kidney transplants, or a parent dies, or some really critical things, we cannot say that you cannot collect their personal belongings like that. And this is different from when I was in college. A professor would say anything. We have to be so very careful and so respectful these days. I get questions, a student says the teacher rolled their eyes at me, and it goes all the way to the president, and we have to do a full investigation. It does get crazy. And that doesn't happen every minute, every day, or none of us would probably be here. But we do have a level of student, society that's very customer service oriented, and we do have to be different than we used to. You have to be very respectful. You cannot take their personal belongings from them.
Frank, could you summarize that?
I'm sorry.
Well, students, I don't know how to best summarize that, but sometimes when a student has a cell phone goes off, a simple stare at that student will just say it all. That's what always worked for me, just a glare. But unfortunately, we just can't take their cell phones away, because sometimes they do have emergencies. They do have emergencies. And one thing that I did say to students at the beginning of the quarter is, if you have an emergency where you absolutely, positively need a cell phone access, come to me before that class and let me know. And I'll tell you what you should do if that call goes off. Because depending on what happens in that situation, or what happens during the class that day, it could be the instructions that I'd give that student may be different. I do want to try to wrap everything up, but yes, Ms. Williams.
One instructor who I saw at the beginning of every class, I saw him do this, and he told me to do this every class. He would pull his cell phone out and say, "Okay, I'm just cutting off my cell phone now. I want you to do the same." And I thought that was, effective way of ensuring that students turn off their phones during class. Just a suggestion.
Okay.
What I do in my class really is to put my phone on vibrate, and I tell the student to do the same. And I said, if you must answer your phone call, you don't even have to get my attention. Don't tell me anything. Just go outside the class. Take care of your business. I don't want to know about it. Don't disrupt my class. If you have a call, just go outside. When you're done with your business, come back in the class. Whatever you missed, that's up to you to make it up by asking your fellow students or going to your textbook. That's it.
That's reasonable, extremely
Yeah.
reasonable.
Summarize that.
Okay. But yeah, if you have a way that may just encourage students to shut off your cell phone, such as take the cell phone out and say, I'm shutting off my phone, I'd ask for you to do the same, or I'm turning my phone on vibrate, please do the same so we don't interrupt the class. That's a good approach as well. Just find something that works for you, that keeps you as an instructor from being distracted, as well as the other students in the class too, because that does become a distraction, and it is an issue. Yes?
I tell my students that class participation is part of their grade. So if they're texting or doing something distracting, that's going to affect their grade.
And absolutely.
Use that as force them to stay engaged in classroom instruction.
Yeah, and that's one way of gauging that too, is using class participation as part of your grade, or using that as part of the work ethics grade for the class. One thing that I did, if I saw a student regularly texting, I made a note of it, and their work ethics grade, it went down. Okay. Well, I want to thank you all for being here this morning, and if you have any other questions for us individually, you may ask. Come on. Yeah.
information with Janice. Anybody who's outside the agreement, see I get the fair.